Hello, welcome to Friday that I thought was Saturday. I'm not going to be streaming for too long today unless we get into a random conversation that takes us down a rabbit hole. Because I don't plan on cooking anything tonight, and I'm just going to eat some more mush. I'm going to feed Fred and give you all a chance to chat with each other. But free to throw me conversation bones for the potential of starting a debate fire. Bob Alphen from yesterday was just very meh. I discovered that actually I probably should have put water into all the bowls because there was just not enough moisture for everything to cook well. Hi, Laura. First things first. Did we all take our vitamins? Oh, I'm sorry, Fred. Take your vitamins. Del, it's not just the stream where people tell me they don't like seeing Fred. Somebody actually commented on my Instagram posts today saying, tired of seeing Fred posts. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's tired of seeing Fred posts? Shit is fucked if people don't want to see cat content. I had a friend come over and we just drank pots of tea. This is regular black Assam tea with bits of mom's rose petals in there. And he brought over some pastries and we chatted for about 6 hours, hence the title of this live. Very thankful for friends who come by on a blustery, cold day and just grace me with their company and introspective takes on what life's meanings or lack of are. Michelle Diane. By the way, I've been thinking about this topic for as long as we've been doing lives and as long as people have been saying hi to me and tagging me. Sometimes I won't say hi back even though I see your comment because I just don't wanna. It's not anything that you did or didn't do. I just don't wanna say hi back sometimes. It's nothing personal. Fred leaving after eating is very personal, but it's also not personal. I'm free to do what I want to do. I don't owe shit to anyone here. Sometimes people forget that, I think. You don't owe me shit either. Alright, we're gonna eat mush. Mush all day. My friend came over and we talked about a lot of things. One of which was how I basically have, you know, a fan base now, a fan club, you may say, and people want the best for me. And in our society, best means success, and success often means money. And I was talking about how I don't really want those things, but people will want it for me. We didn't really reach a conclusion, as most of these conversations go. We just talked about it. I was talking with him about how, you know, people want me to grow this channel and more viewership and quote unquote blow up. And I was saying how every time the YouTube algorithm recommends the lives to new people, all we get are trolls. We just get an influx of trolls. And honestly, that's kind of what societal success feels like to me. It's like, you think you're gonna get what you need when you get successful, but really what you get is a lot of unwanted junk. And sometimes, believe it or not, the unwanted junk can come in the form of money and stuff. What's with monetizing your following, though? Do you feel bad about it? I mean, I've monetized this channel. I don't feel bad about monetizing the channel, but I don't really feel like I need to do things that I'm not feeling an itch to do just to squeeze more money out of this. I'm fine with where I am currently. How's everyone's day been? I also used my friends coming over as an excuse to speed along a little bit of a mopping of my apartment, so I feel a little bit more clean, slightly more accomplished, slightly more like I'm trying to do more to take care of myself, which isn't always the case, but I take what I can get. Yes, thank you, Laura T, for the reminder. This is my lentil. I ate some of the 8 treasure rice yesterday. The sweet one came out okay. The savory one came out pretty delicious, but it needed a little bit more salt and probably wouldn't have hurt with a little bit more sausage. And surprisingly, the brown rice steamed up a lot better than the white rice, but I think it's because I actually added some of the mushroom liquid to the brown rice batch, which gave it more moisture to cook in. Steaming on its own with just the dry rice and the dry mixtures was not enough for it to like really get cooked. So a lot of the dessert flavors, sweet rice, ended up being a little bit undercooked and slightly crunchy, which, you know, whatever. I'll just add a little more liquid to it and microwave it for a little bit longer, and it should be fine for subsequent eatings, but definitely not the most appetizing 8 treasure rice. It was not a complete fail, but definitely not a astounding success. Do you guys want to go sit with Fred? Shall we go eat in the bedroom? You can have your democracy now, just for a little bit. Okay. The lighting will get a lot shittier, but it'll be fine. Hi, Fred. The people wanted to see you. Ooh, if you go to H Mart, everybody who has shopped at a Korean store, give us some recommendations of what your favorite things to get there are. I definitely recommend getting some tteokbokki. It's like the little cylindrical sticky rice cakes. Usually you find it either in the freezer aisle or just in the refrigerated aisle. I love it. Oh my god, yes, the fish cakes. Yes, fish cakes, for sure. Dried persimmon, I also love. I did not know there's Korean mooncakes. That's interesting. Fred is eating great today. Laura, I'm very excited for your first persimmon. I hope it is a good one. Peach flavored soju, wow. So for kimchi, I actually like cucumber kimchi the most, and they're sold in those like little plastic tubs that are in the ready to eat containers. Oh my god, I love Korean side dishes. They are my life. My favorite things to eat. Eating some lentil mush. I'm about to clear out my 2 cans of it, or 2 jars of it tonight. Yes, Mart is a chain. It is a Korean supermarket chain. Val, does your Walmart Kewpie have a label on it in color? I ask because there are 2 types of Kewpie, and one of them does not taste as good as the other. And just in case you got the one that doesn't taste as good, I just want you to know that the other one tastes better, so that you understand that there is a better Kewpie out there, and there is a reason for why I freak out over its taste. I've always wondered why Filipino is spelled with an F too. So, I mean, there's no such thing as a bad Kewpie. I mean, yes, let me not lie. Yes, the bad Kewpie is the one with a shrink wrap wrapper with color. The good one, comes in a clear packaging with red letters, and then once you take the bottle out of the packaging, the bottle itself looks naked. If your bottle out of the packaging looks naked, I think that's the right one. Sandy, I think that's the right one. This is what the bottle looks like, okay? No shrink wrapped labeling on there. This is what the original Japanese manufactured Kewpie looks like. There's an American version. It is a slightly smaller bottle, and it has a shrink wrapped labeling on top. the American version of Kewpie just doesn't have the same tang and like almost yogurty creaminess to it that the Japanese version has. This is too full, so we're gonna have to come back with a cheese refill later. Okay, what hot buttons do we want to press tonight? Any hot buttons? Guys, you really have to hit me with like the hard stuff, you know, otherwise we won't have anything intriguing to talk about. I don't eat dollar ramen, unfortunately, so I've not eaten instant ramen for a lot of my life. The cheese that I put in is Bulgarian creamy cheese. I didn't watch Dune. That's not hitting hard. I don't know much about the COVID strain, but Aaron and I basically think that we're all gonna get COVID sooner or later, and some of us will die, and some of us won't, and it'll just be like the new flu. We will never be over COVID at this point. With all these variants, it just doesn't feel like it's ever gonna be over, right? We're not discussing the Rittenhouse verdict. Fuck that. Sorry. Not doing it. What else? What new thing do we have to say about the same old tale of injustice? Nothing. We don't have anything to say. My opinion on pronouns like, I don't even know how to pronounce that, XE and XIM. I don't have a particular opinion on it. If people want to use them and it makes them feel better about their own identities, then use them. How many more LA episodes? I think 3. Do I want to get more pets? Not in this tiny apartment. Mixing Kewpie and Sriracha, not controversial at all. What about the Chinese tennis woman that's gone missing? Obviously, we know where she went. Probably. Again, it's the same old tale. Nothing new to say about that. The Chinese government has always been good at making people disappear. I don't listen to BTS. Sorry. If you had a chance to run away and start your life with a new identity, would you? No. Do you know how hard I've had to work to get to who I am? It's a lot of work. I'm not doing this all over again. No, I did not partake in Black Friday because I did not even know it was a Friday. I thought it was a Saturday. My Salvation Army had a 50% off everything, and I was very tempted to go inside, and I was like, no, no more shit. Early New Year's resolution is to be like Fred. Of course I would take Fred with me. I would not move to a single place that did not allow pets. I wish for very bad things to happen to people who relocate without their pets. Mostly just for them to feel guilt. We're not talking about guns either. Fuck that. Why should I talk about the same things that our government has chosen not to do a single thing about? What good will that do? Thoughts on people gatekeeping thrift stores? What does that even mean? How do you gatekeep a thrift store? Are we surprised that Black Friday isn't what it used to be? We have all seen the damage of capitalism on us collectively, and a lot of us are just fucking poor. I don't need to describe my peanut butter. I have already acted out all the ways in which I love it. I hope there's aliens, but I don't know. I think gatekeepers can go shove it. Any gatekeeper. Do you have good bowel movement? What? If you go to a new place, can you do poo easily? If I travel, my poo is very off. It is one of my greatest anxieties about traveling is I can't poop. When I went to China to teach for a year, we had those like squatting in a hole toilets, and I was so psychologically grossed out and stressed. I could not poop for 2 weeks. That was one of the most miserable times for my body to go through. It was terrible. It was terrible. That was the worst I've ever had it. There's also something about jet lag. I poop at a very specific time in the day. If I wake up a little bit earlier, I don't get to poop. If I wake up a little bit later, sometimes I don't get to poop. So like my body is very particular to the time frame. I don't know the best applications of red, yellow, or green curries. I just use whatever I have on hand, whatever I feel like doing. No, this is actually lentil and cheese, not peanut butter. Aaron and I were supposed to go travel next March, but I have told him to cancel me out of that itinerary. I don't think I'll be ready to travel then. They say that if you immigrate to a new place and you acquire the language before the age of 8, chances of you landing an accent are minimal. Past the age of 13, 12 or 13, chances of you having a slight accent is almost guaranteed. And after 15 or 16, I think you will be stuck with an accent. I think they did some developmental research on language acquisition, and that's what they seem to find. Probably something about the way your like tongue and mouth develops, and maybe what kind of muscles you're used to using in your mother tongue. What's NFT? What's NFT? I don't know what NFT was. Cultural gatekeeping? What is cultural gatekeeping? I'm tempted to say yes without even knowing the answer to what cultural gatekeeping is. I would say Instant Pot is worth it only if you have the ability to go hands off for at least 30 minutes. I don't know shit about NFT. Sorry, can't answer that question. I don't understand money, and I for sure don't understand virtual money. I mean, all of money is already virtual, and then you add in online virtual money, and I'm just like, you lost me. What are we doing here? Life is a game, isn't it? You're not even trying to hide it at this point. What the fuck are these things? How is this any different than shit you earn in Super Mario? I feel so bad when I hear him scratching with his hind claw, because it just sounds like so much is being torn off, so I just go ahead and scratch for him. What advice do you have for people to help them through the process? Oh, going through all the stuff for your mom. If you're a parent, throw out all of the shit. Please. Throw out all of the shit now so we don't have to deal with your shit. Please. Throw it out now. I would love to be a traveling food vlogger. Rachel says, like minorities not wanting to see aspects of their culture they're ridiculed for being deemed as acceptable. Isn't that just progress of being more open-minded citizens of the world? I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding the premise. Sorry. If I had to pick a place from all my travels to live, where would I pick? For some reason, Spain really spoke to me, but I didn't even like the food there that much. I don't know why. It just seemed like the most livable. Portugal is nice too, but it also seemed a little bit fantastical. People are so fucking nice in Portugal. Best ice cream flavor, coffee, Earl Grey, Pandan from Chinatown Ice Cream Factory. Those are 3 flavors. I'm sorry I can't choose. I have not met Sola, no. I will not be making anything called vegetarian ingredient steak. Fuck that. It's not steak. Stop trying to make steak happen for vegetarian items. Worst ice cream flavor? Never been asked that question before. Anything blue? I didn't even know licorice ice cream existed, y'all. Is psilocybin mushrooms the ones you trip on? I wanted to do them, but my friend said it's too early for me post mom's passing. So we're gonna hold off. Is there a non-food item you indulge in? I guess movies, TV shows. Stop asking about Dune. I'm not watching it. Jesus Christ. I find it the only thing that I want to watch with Timothy Chalamet is Don't Look Up. That one looks fucking fun as fuck. Otherwise, I have a problem watching Timothy Chalamet in anything. He really takes me out of it, so I can only watch him in a comedy setting, which it looks like Don't Look Up is a comedy setting. Love watching movies. Love watching movies. Who doesn't like watching movies? Who? Okay. Question of the night. Is Timothy Chalamet hot to you? I don't think I think even if I were even if I weren't asexual, I still would not want to make out with Timothy Chalamet. Thank you for grooming me, Freddie. Aw, thank you. Ow, Jesus. That was too hard. You know who I still have a crush on from my college days? And she just came out with a new song. LaRue. Ellie Jackson from LaRue. Still have a crush. Listen, if you have your canines and you know how to use them to pierce things still because they're sharp as fuck, they will still hurt no matter if you have 1 or 3 or 10. Does one needle pierce the skin? Aaron is being very accommodating of all the things I've brought into the apartment. He said to me the other day, I told myself early on that you would be bringing home a lot of your mom's stuff, and I made peace with it. So he's smart. I'm Not Your Toy was my favorite song. I didn't really like Bulletproof, but it is very catchy. Favorite horror movie, The Babadook. I used to exercise. I haven't since Mom died. It's actually making me feel quite bad in terms of body image issues, but I cycle around body image issues every year anyway, so I'm just prepared for it now. It's kind of like the focal point of plastic surgery drifting. You'll always find something. I talked about this, I think, last night or the night before, but you'll always find something you don't like about yourself. I just have to let it be. And I have to stop blaming or hating myself for it when I recognize the discontent. I don't walk anymore, but I'm not making any excuses for my sedentary lifestyle right now. I don't need excuses, and I don't need to explain myself. It's just the circumstances that I'm in right now. And it's not helpful for me to judge myself. What was that, Fred? What was that? What do you see? I would have to ask, if you don't have my outlook on life and you're saying you want to have my outlook on life, what's stopping you? Question to straight men or lesbians. Okay, I guess this is not a question for me. How do you message women on dating apps? It's so hard to get messages back. Yo, why is it that women don't respond on dating apps? It's so fucking frustrating. And they're also fucking flaky. Really fucking flaky. Like, way more so than men. But maybe it's just because women are in high demand across the board. Go figure. I've tried Polish food. Does Polish count as Eastern European? I've also tried some Russian food. Some things I like, some things, my favorite neighborhoods in New York, I really like Greenpoint. Love walking through it. Freddie, we want to see you, buddy. I like Astoria. Lots of nice food and walking boutiques. Obviously love Jackson Heights and Elmhurst for the food. That gotcha, didn't it? Yeah. Thank you for coming back. So, as a person who identifies more asexually, basically a lot of my dates on dating apps are just hangout dates. I make it really, really, really clear that I'm not looking for hookups. So, people who go on dates with me have to really change their expectations and perception of what a date is. So you recommend staying in Astoria if people visit New York for the food? I mean, Astoria isn't a bad place to start, but you're for sure missing out a lot of food if you don't go out. Have I ever been in love? I hope so. Yeah, all my dates involve food. They have to. If there is no food on a date, what are you even doing there? Do people bathe their cats? Should I be bathing him? Snaggletooth. Snaggletooth? What part of Elmhurst did you go to? Elmhurst does not scare me in the least, no. Are you, what, okay. What part of New York do you live in that Elmhurst scared you? I gotta ask. Linda, what do you want to know about cutting onions? Mush was fantastic with the cheese. Absolutely. I don't use cookbooks. That's why I will never ever write a cookbook because I don't use them. I have an exterminator who services the building. I can maybe invite him in next time, but I haven't seen any, knock on wood, huge roaches. So I'm hesitant to put in poison because I just don't want to live with that shit. Yes, flying roaches, my God. I actually gave away all of Mom's boric acid, unfortunately. Favorite Pixar? Up? Is Up a Pixar movie? Because Up. It's hard to feel remorse for fruit flies. I got some grapefruit on discount. Let's eat. Looks like somebody already started peeling this one. Yes, I love pomelo. My mom always bought me pomelo. I haven't had fresh durian. It is on my want to eat list when I travel to Southeast Asia. What did you think of your persimmon? Was it ripe? Was it sweet? Was it crunchy? Was it soft? Was it mealy? Was it creamy? Tell us. What kind of persimmon did you eat? If it dries out your mouth, it was not ripe. That's so weird. I've never really had a persimmon dry out. Oh, you know what? Yes, I would never eat Baloo because I just can't bear the thought of eating a half-formed thing. The skin is astringent. You can peel off the skin next time. But yeah, you really gotta make sure that it's ripe. If it's not ripe, it will taste absolutely fucking disgusting. It will feel very, 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 very wrong. Cherimoya. I don't know if I've ever had the fruit. Good night, Ayla. Rambutan feels exactly like a lychee or a lychee ripoff to me. It really, I'm not a fan. And it's always slightly more expensive too. Grapefruit with no sugar. I never eat my grapefruit with sugar. I also want to try fresh mangosteen. That is on my to eat list too. Aaron and I have been in an open relationship for the past 5-ish years, maybe even more. But also as of this April, our relationship has changed. It is no longer a romantic one. Bye, Deletta. Feel better, I hope. Remember, try not to blame yourself for anything that has already happened. It has happened, and it is no longer here. Unless you want it to be here forever and ever and ever in your mind. Whirlpooling around, sucking you into the eye of the storm. Sorry. I just realized I've been blocking Fred. How dare I? Yes, everything that I say to you guys, I am also saying for myself first and foremost. Always. I realize that now, especially in the context of my mom giving me all these life advice that I had always assumed she was already acting on. She never really did. I feel like everything she said to me, she also needed to take into action herself. In a way, she was trying to convince me as her proxy. The mush that I just ate was garlic, celery, carrots, lentils, and a bunch of spice things, condiments. Live stream 24/7. That's a hard pass, homie. You want to see me poop? It's gonna be a very interesting demographic of viewers. Bye, Del. Okay, Costco, I'm in. I still have all those Costco gift cards from Mom. Ashley, no. Makes me feel good. It makes us feel good to be wanted, doesn't it? Yes, Abishi, that's exactly why my mom had the gift cards. She asked her coworkers to buy her Costco gift cards so that she didn't need a membership to shop. I am not Mensa brilliant, no. Cranberry and Concord grape, really? Gotta try that sometime. Aaron and I are not dating each other. We just live together. And we're still friends. Dead Sea Life. Where in the city do you live? I didn't catch it before when I asked. Do you guys hear Fred's little breathings? They sound like tiny little snores. I think Fred just had rotten teeth when they found him, and it was causing him a lot of pain, so they decided to pull it, but I don't really know. He came with 3 teeth to me. Jonathan, sometimes I think about how I have absolutely no idea I'm being watched by hundreds of people. Because it just doesn't calculate in my brain that there are hundreds of people watching me eat a grapefruit in front of my cat on a bed. Very strange concept. My writing has not been deemed publishable up until Delish. I contributed to some like college student periodicals, just like poetry and stuff, but not really. Five things I miss about China. Living close to my uncle who can cook a mean meal. I miss all the snacks in the grocery stores and all the food in the street food vendors. It's mostly food that I miss, honestly. China has changed so much. Nothing about my childhood exists beyond my memory. Do you think I can eat all 3 grapefruit tonight? My body is like, thank you. Fresh, juicy things. I emigrated out of China when I was 7. bowing out my hair. We're done with shaving it. Sana, I did a vitamin check at the beginning of the stream. Smells really good. Yes. It does. Hi, Singapore. Yes. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Cladog? It's basically the two hands holding the heart with a crown on it. I forget where the pendant came from. Hi, Fred. Oh, I still haven't eaten your persimmons yet. They're like definitely ripe, but they're not soft yet, and I'm waiting a few more days. They're sitting on my windowsill. Seems like these boosters don't really work for all these variants. I think we might just have to get used to dying as a society. Clota? Really? Clota? Do I care how old my viewers are? I know for the most part, it is pretty much women in my age range who make up the bulk of my viewership. And then my viewership is like 90% plus women. Oh my god, I just have grapefruit juice all over my eyeball. Ooh. Ow. Welcome to being in the 10%. You are so young, Maxwell. Yeah, for sure there are long-term effects from COVID that we don't fully understand yet. That's actually what terrifies me most. Hello, Jonathan and wife. Welcome. Damn, Ashley, where do you live? That fruit and veg is unaffordable. I know, unfortunately, that is the case in a lot of neighborhoods and areas. This is the way I like to eat my grapefruit. I basically peel it like I would a pomelo, and I'm just left with the juicy bits, and all the pithy bits are out of the picture. So this is why I don't have to eat it with sugar, because it is naturally sweet. Oh my god. Is Toronto expensive in terms of renting and real estate too? Is Canada in general just pretty expensive? Yeah, the rich Chinese be ruining everything from real estate markets to the aesthetics of Tiffany bracelets. I remember when I was in middle school, Tiffany jewelry still had class. I went, in that very like elegant, simplistic, and yet still artsy way, but I passed by the Fifth Avenue location like a couple of years back before COVID, and I realized how shitty their designs have gotten. It's just like really tasteless, ostentatious items. Which Tiffany's has always been ostentatious, but it's been with like aesthetic, I just feel like they're all trying to cater to the nouveau riche from China, and all they care about is branding. So like the Tiffany logo is just like emblazoned on every single piece. Linda, you're considering getting a lover? I recommend a cat. May not be the type of lover that you had in mind, but they will love you. Oh, well, Ashley, that kind of sounds like New York. Most expensive I own is probably the camera that I shoot Delish videos with. And I did not buy that. Delish got that camera for me because I ruined my own Canon camera while shooting the first few budget eats. And I was like, I cannot work with this camera that was not meant to be a video camera to begin with anymore. Please get me a new camera. I honestly think we're gonna start going back to the office, so. I don't know what's gonna happen to my shop from home videos anymore. Hearst is doing this very big push to go back to the office. I don't personally need a video editor, but maybe Delish will need freelance video editors now that we laid off all of them because her sucks. I actually personally like editing my own stuff just when I have time for them. I don't mind the interaction at the office, although it's been a long time since I've done it. Yes, it is a grapefruit. We've already filed for an unfair labor practice suit against Hearst for demanding that we return to work without bargaining with us over it. Any company-wide policy like that should be bargained over when you have a union at the workplace, and they did not bargain with us over that. So we have filed with the National Labor Relations Board. I'm not saying Chinese people ruined the design. I'm saying nouveau riche Chinese people ruined the design. But they didn't really ruin the design. Capitalistic natures of maximizing profit and selling shit that none of us needs chase the money instead of the designs. So the priority there is always profit. And it is the profit-seeking mentality that ruined the designs. Why blame one party when you can blame everyone? Obviously, Tiffany's made the decision to change their designs, so there is no one to blame but Tiffany's at the end of the day. So apparently these Kyoho grapes are really good. They are usually like $10 for a box. These were on sale for $4, but they don't quite look as good as the other Kyoho grapes that I've seen. The other Kyoho grapes that I've seen that are gloriously round and plump and they look frosty like wine grapes are usually like $10 or even $14 for this box. So I'm just gonna try it. This was on discount. I gotta see it. They are still frosty. Everything is pricey nowadays. frosty grapes are the best. That's usually a sign of natural fruit yeast, I think. Bye, I'm Schneckenhaus. Listen. Mmm. Mmm. Okay. Mmm. They taste like halfway Concord grapes with a little more firmness to the flesh. A lot sweeter than I was expecting, but definitely way more flavorful than your average run-of-the-mill grapes. I think grape seeds don't have poison in them. It's pear and apple seeds that have. I think they make grapeseed oil, no? I wouldn't say these grapes are crunchy. I would say they're bursty. They're like firm but nicely fleshy. The skin isn't rubbery, but it's also not like paper thin. It has a nice texture to it. And the best thing about these grapes is that the fragrance from the top layer of the flesh where it meets the skin is fragrant. And that fragrance kind of emerges out of your gum line after you swallow the grape. It emerges as like a little tiny perfume after you finish eating them. Okay, I would say money well spent. Delicious grapes. Really nice and firm and juicy. That just popped from the other end like a grape tomato. Grapes do have cyanide seed poisoning. I've been eating them my whole life. Still haven't died yet. Yes, I am composting again. Yes, it did spray the camera, didn't it? Oopsies. Fantastic fruit. Gotta love a clean peel grape. Favorite board game? I don't know if it counts as a board game. It's a card game. I like both Apples to Apples and, what is it, Cards Against Humanity? I like games where I can learn about the players. I also really enjoy playing Coup, C-O-U-P, with a larger group of people. That game teaches you how people lie and deceive. Do you want some, Freddie? Do you want some sweet potato? Yes, we can talk about loose leaf tea. What do you want to talk about? Yes, I hate lapsang souchong. Brain freeze, Fred? I'm sorry, babe. It's so cold. We're eating sweet potatoes. Too cold? Let me warm it up. Are you done? No more? Okay, okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to bid you guys good night. Happy weekend. Ready? You want to wish everyone a good night?